Welcome to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. Welcome back. It's the holiday season. We took a little break last week. Shannon and I came back from PAX as well last week. We had a very good time. Our music is licensed through musicbed.com. Sometimes we use TabletopAudio. Sometimes we use Syrinscape. I'm going to bring Shannon on now.
Good job, Sean. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, or whenever you are watching this. Thank you for being here. And yes, PAX was a ton of fun. My husband and I played a game I'd never heard of before called Crokinole, which apparently is a Canadian game.
I saw that game too.
We played it for fun. Like a solid 4 hours, like total. We just sat there.
Did you see how expensive the board is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me, we looked into it because we're like, we might need one. We entered the drawing, but unfortunately didn't win it. But it was a ton of fun. And yeah, we got to played a little bit of Quest.
Yes, we played a little bit of Quest. With, what was it, 11 players?
11 people. Yeah, you did an amazing job with everybody there.
Yeah.
It was short but sweet, and it was a lot of fun. So
yeah, I got
to. I just noticed my frame, and wow.
I told you we got a new overlay tonight.
Ooh,
this page is the same other than the frames.
The font, and then there's my sweet girl. That's so cool. I'm very excited to see the whole thing.
I got to demo the Session 0 system.
Oh, is that what those are? Cool.
Yes. I got to, the Session 0 system by Elise. She's very nice. Yes, Resendez, yeah.
Resendez said it.
Oh shoot. Oh, what's his name? She didn't run it for us, but I don't have it. But yeah, we got to do that. That was a lot of fun. It was a really good weekend.
Yeah. It's already planning for next year. So it's gonna be great.
Always a fan.
Let's get to our partner, shall we? So we can play a little gamey game. Let's start with Arcane Spectacles. Get a personalized touch for your home with Arcane Spectacles Christmas ornaments. It is the perfect time of year for that. Customizable with party members and DM's names, these ornaments are perfect for TTRPG and D&D fans. Durable and lasting, they'll be a cherished reminder of your adventures. Visit them now at Arcane Spectacles and add magic to your home all year long. I have 2 of mine up on my streaming station over here, and they are a cherished reminder of our adventures. Yeah, super fun. So definitely check those out. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre that you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape each of the worlds that they create. Next, we have Edward Yorke. Eddie is our beloved character artist. You shall see, apparently, on our new overlay, you shall see the lovely headshots of our characters. I'm very, very excited. He is an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. Last but not least, we've got 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other TTRPGs. Sean uses their NPC cards, which I believe we've maxed out at this point. We used them all in this campaign, or we're very close to using them all.
There's like 1 or 2 that I haven't used.
So they're amazing, and we use them all the time, so go buy them. And when you do, use the code paradiceprod for 10% off your entire order. Couple miscellaneous things. I'm working on getting those VODs up on YouTube. I think we've got up through 78 or 79 on there right now. So I'm only about 5 behind, which is not bad.
We might actually be up to 80.
I don't know that I did 80. I don't think I did 80 yet. But regardless, they'll be updated. My goal is to do it by the end of this week. And then in the meantime, just join us in Paradise on Bluesky, Twitch, X, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok. Not done.
Nice.
Do you need to check the audio? Is audio? I'm sure. I mean,
Oh no.
Is audio working? Oh, it didn't work,
Mine
did it?
is.
Well, everybody's just gonna have to read my lips. I'm not doing it again.
Just read the lips and look at the notes on the VOD. Let me fix the other scene before I bring everyone in. You know what's funny, Shannon? Maybe not. You know
What?
what's
What, Sean? What is possibly funny right now?
Ooh.
It's because you weren't here last week. I didn't check the Sean and Shannon page.
You didn't play last week.
I meant the before. I don't know why.
I was there the week before that.
Were you?
I get
Well,
it. I
okay.
get it.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because of my headphones. But anyway, they didn't hear any of that. You guys just saw Shannon talking to Nut with no noise coming out while I looked at my phone. Great. Heard me have a one-sided conversation about PAX. It's okay.
Bet it was
Well,
riveting.
This is what we record on Audacity. They still can't hear me, so I don't know why I'm talking.
Oh, technically I can fix it. But we'll need to do that at some point. Super easy. Literally just drop your audio in Audacity in. Ooh, that makes me... Yep, my Audacity's going. No, I'm the one who reminded everyone. All right, enough of this. Let's bring everyone in. Welcome.
Hi.
Look at those faces.
Look at the overlay.
Felice, Navi,
It's
Badad.
very simple.
It's so pretty, though.
Let me see this.
I love it.
I also remembered that Alex taught me how to change the time of day in it.
Ooh.
And I had
Very
forgotten to do that
cool.
for the last 84 sessions.
Okay. I'm digging it.
But now I
Love it.
remember how to do it. Look, it's nighttime. And then look, it's sunset or sunrise.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, so cool.
I have learned.
Is audio working for everybody? Sean?
It looks as though it is. The Mars are moving.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
All right, folks. We shall jump into our recap for today.
Sean, I love it.
Thanks, Alex. Alrighty then. Last we left off. Oh, I lost it. Last we left off, our heroes continued the fight to preserve the blessed wart that had been exposed to the wintry weather when Baron shot his arrows into the greenhouses to release the light of the blessed plant in order to scare off the herald that was certainly going to destroy the party. As the herald was scared off, the party realized that the undead all around them persisted, and they needed to fight them off to reestablish control of the area. A fight ensued against the Dread Lieutenant, as well as several undead gnolls and hordes of zombies. The fight was in tight quarters amongst the outer streets of the Hag's Hollow, and several of our adventurers found themselves in some precarious situations. But ultimately, thanks to some tactful spell usage and maneuvering, the party was able to beat back the larger undead, reignite Septimus's blessed wart lantern, and fend off against the zombies. Upon doing this, they rushed in towards the area, particularly Baron and Jacquette went to the hag's little hut to get support, specifically to find panes of glass to replace the broken ones of the greenhouses in order to not lose the crop of blessed wart, which they had learned they had already lost a significant portion of as the winter cold was sapping them of their life force. The hags agreed and the party was able to mend the glass. They lost 25% of the left greenhouse's yield, and they lost 60% of the yield in the right greenhouse. So there is still blessed wart left. But it's quickly realized that this blessed wart will run out fast, and that Baron's promise of escorting the party to the north, to Simalto, might also be timely for him to acquire more blessed wart for this group. The party all gathered within the hag's hut in order to rest, take a short rest specifically. They were immediately intrigued by the two hags who led this circle of druids, Marine and Deirdre. But specifically, Saskia and Fyrn found interest in the knowledge of these hags. Fyrn started off this inquiry by asking about the mask that he bears and his journey to return the mask to Simalto's temples. The hags revealed to him that the many, not many, all who take this journey, or spirit bearers, as they call them, never return from Simalto. But they specifically said that their leader, Mother Vine, might have more answers. At this point, the only experience the party had of Mother Vine was her yelling at Bruce in his head for making a snide comment. Fyrn agreed to speak with this Mother Vine. But before he did, Saskia had an inquiry for this druidic entity, specifically because she heard Marine mention that the roots of Mother Vine can unearth certain things from the world, from the spirits of nature itself. Specifically, memories is what Sass was interested in. As we all know, she has none. So she presented herself to this entity by this altar in the middle of the hag circle. An altar that, to everyone's attention, with no check, can clearly be seen to have been a sacrificial altar. Saskia asked her question and presented her palms to the altar. Roots began to writhe into Saskia's skin as she agreed to accept Mother Vine into her soul in order for her roots to dig for these memories. Because the way it's insinuated is that although Sass has no memories herself, there is usually an echo or something that remains within the flesh, within the spirit, that isn't accessible to her right now. And as we learned in a previous session, her patron has zero interest in giving these memories back. Not even like a conversation. It will never happen. So, Saskia begins to hallucinate, begins to experience intense feelings, with some echoes themselves appearing in these thoughts, before Mother Vine extracts her roots, and Sask is presented with a vial of her own blood. She is told to consume this potion, and that the memories will not return to her, but she will be able to experience them in some fashion. So she will not suddenly remember her whole life, but she will have a few memories that she will experience. This certainly upset Fyrn a little bit as he saw the roots digging into Saskia's arms, and he was very skeptical of this otherworldly entity interfering with the adventuring party. But, ever tempted, he presented himself before Mother Vine as well. She invited him into her chamber, though. And while Saskia did see the visage of Mother Vine, Fyrn got to be in the presence of the visage. A large oak tree split in half, with a crucified wood elven woman, or more accurately, an Eladrin woman, aloft in its boughs. Her long crimson vermilion red hair descending down to the floor. Her face heart-shaped with large eyes, otherworldly, alien. And he came up to her and refused her entry into his soul, unlike Sass, but did allow her to embrace him to impart some knowledge. What Fyrn saw was a temple, the temple that he has been ascending to in his dreams, the temple that Einso, the mysterious figure in his dreams, has been guiding him to. What he witnessed was another spirit bearer arrive at the temple. A man bearing a similar mask and similar pieces of armor to the mask. This man presented himself to an altar with Pescos and Lidan iconography upon it, and bowed and descended to his knees. The result of which was that he stood, saluted the altar, and took his place amongst several other suits of armor filled with the skeletons of previous spirit bearers, where he remained, and where his flesh rotted away and his bones remained within that armor. The spirit at rest, but so does the bearer rest. This perturbed Fyrn, of course. He was, as you'd expect, unhappy about that, although happy to have some answers. There was a brief exchange where Fyrn did learn a little bit about Mother Vine, specifically that she was mentioning the world is changing, and that many like her will no longer exist in some time, or will be undone, and that they must scrape together what they can. She also said that he may have a chance to change his fate, but that if he refuses this quest, this call, that the Reaper and his hound, which Fyrn presumed to be Einso and a wolf, would find him. Or haunt him forever, at least. Fyrn comes out of this vision. His purpose clearer, but perhaps his will shaken. The entirety of this conversation, Baron looks uncomfortable in this space. Jacquet notices this and questions him on the motives of these hags. All Baron can really say is that creatures like Mother Vine, or entities, have lost a lot of power over the years. And though their ambitions may be noble, they will do much to regain that power. So, the party found a ally, perhaps, in these hags, or perhaps at least a neutral collaborator in the hags. But they gave them a place to rest, food, water, an actual hot meal, and the party rested, with the intention of, upon the end of their long rest, distributing blessed wart throughout the village, and during the last bits of this blizzard, in order to prepare for their next steps to head north to Samalto.
Short rest, right?
Did I say long?
Yeah.
I meant short.
I just wanted to make sure.
No, if they took a long rest, then the village would be dead. Anyway,
Nice.
maybe.
Stupid village.
So, we left off as you are completing this short rest. You've regained some of your health. You tended to your wounds. You're still tired because you did undergo a pretty intense fight before. And it is around... you started the day fairly early, so it's not even midday yet after this short rest. But as it was earlier, it's still incredibly dark outside with the blizzard. It is nighttime conditions, despite being probably, honestly, around 9:30, 10 a.m. in the morning. The blizzard is still blacking out the space, and with the winter eclipse that happens, there's not much to see outside other than the cold and the dim lights maybe peeking through the curtains of the houses, with the blessed wart that is slowly dwindling. So, what would you all like to do at this point? Or is there anything specific you all would like to do?
Have we decided when excuse me, when we are traveling? Did we decide when we're doing that? Are we waiting till the next day, or
So
you know
we're
is
waiting
that-
until the
The blizzard clears.
the
Yeah.
blizzard clears, but
Okay.
we do need to head out into the town itself to help the people by distributing the blessed wart.
Did we get the hags' names? I
Mhm.
apologize if you just
Marine.
God.
One is Marine,
Marine.
Mereen, and one is Deirdre. Deirdre's the dwarf. Marine is the human woman.
Deirdre's the one with the broom that keeps smacking.
Yes, yes.
Jacquet.
Deirdre is the dwarf that keeps smacking Jacquet.
She's my favorite.
But not on the bum.
Not on the bum, in the back of the head.
Oh, dang. she's great. So we've received the blessed wart from them at this point, right?
No. You
Okay.
have not. They are preparing it. You
Okay.
can actually see during your short rest, Marine would have gone outside to start harvesting some of the blessed wort, because all the blessed wort that there is in those greenhouses.
Yep. Okay. So I guess while that's happening, Septimus would return. So Deirdre, once we have the collection of blessed wort, maybe give us a rundown of where we should be looking out, where people will be sheltering, the different houses who we should be expecting. Let's try to make this as efficient as possible.
Well, lad, you're going to have to go to each of the camps, at least.
And just knock on every door, just hoping that somebody's there, or is there usually more bigger shelters where more people congregate to stave off the...
What we can do for you is we can reach out to each of the camp representatives with our magic to meet you on your arrival. Then they can disperse it amongst the village to use our time wisely. So you can get the blessed word to all of them, and then they can independently deliver it.
Okay, so for each of the camps, what would the location be that we'd be looking for to meet these representatives?
Well, the best thing to do is to meet them at the entrance to the camps. You can meet up with Leon in the green grave. Old Town would be Andros. Veilguard Tower would be Moira. Uraith. Nordrock Camp would be Arnson Green Bay. The Alto Camp would be Hideki. And then the Revel Camp would be Thalwyn.
I'm sorry,
We-
Mr. Green Bay himself?
Oh, do you know him? No.
I only heard stories of the family.
You can deliver 2 rations to Moira Uraith of the Veilguard Tower. She'll distribute it to the fort as well. If you're to make efficiency, it would be best to go to the Nordrock camp first. The Revel camp. The Alto camp. Back up to Old Town. And then to Veilguard.
You said Nordrock, Revel,
Alto. Old Town. Veilguard. Oh, I'm sorry. I also forgot the Green Grove. Green Grove you can hit before... the Green Grove you can hit after Nordrock. Before Alto. So Nordrock, Green Grove... Sorry, Green Grave, not Grove. Alto.
Well, you said Revel.
At the
is in there.
Revel.
Sorry. I was just reading it literally in the order I have it written, not the order it actually is. Nordrock, Green Grave, Alto. I'm sorry, Revel. Alto. Old Town, Veilguard.
And we're staying in Old Town, right?
You are staying in Old Town, yeah.
So why don't we seeing this to the groups like Old Town and Veilguard, the last 2? Why don't we save Old Town for last, since once we're wrapped up, we'll just retreat back to where we were staying.
That sounds good, though. Well, we can come back here after the storm.
Oh, we want to come back here?
I meant after the storm, when there's not things. But, Deirdre, has anyone ever tried to use the Blessed Wart as a more offensive tool instead of just holding the death at bay?
In the earlier days of our predicament, we may have been more free-flowing with the Blessed Wart or experimentation, but not in any days recently. We've had to ration it. Any experimentation that could go wrong, any wasting of it, could mean life or death for the entire township.
After these rations are given, will you have some to spare?
We will have a little bit, yes. The rations that were handed out before this were our store of rations. These rations were meant to grow more, provide more for the future. So we will have very little to offer up afterwards. If we hope to have any sort of dream of cultivating anything from what's left. These are generational blessed words that have lost a lot of their potency.
Is there any sort of catalyst that you can apply to these blessed wart to grow some more faster?
If only there was a druid with like a spell known as plant growth or something. Oh, the marvels we would see.
It's different out here.
That's what they all say.
We're in a perpetual
Actually
state.
have plant growth.
We live in a perpetual winter that is magically induced, haunted by necrotic energies. We're the only beacon. Well, now there's another one, but we're mostly the only beacon. It's hard to get the magic to set right. We've certainly tried druidic magic. It's the reason there's any blessed wort at all.
Okay, fair enough. Just saying.
Well,
It's conditions of capacity versus storage. We just grow a blessed wort all over the place. It'll die within a week.
Sure, but couldn't you just harvest it and then store it as like a dried good? Does it not work that way? What is it about the blessed wort that gives it? Is it the oils in it?
Magic.
Oh, okay. The magic. So the magic dies after it's been harvested. Is that it?
It's not that the magic dies, it's that there are two people who know how to properly preserve it.
So, if I remember the schools of magic correctly, druids, they have primal magic in which plant grows. Now, it sounds like these blessed wart have some sort of influence of divine magic. Is that correct? Or is it something else?
There is a celestial nature to blessed wort, yes.
Is it this Mother Vine? Does she have any influence on that?
Perhaps.
What kind of answer is that, perhaps? Yes or no?
She's very irritated with you too, and yes, of course. Like I said already, this stuff wouldn't exist here. These plants would not.
So, just going off that, does that mean that she's directly related to Pescos or the Don?
The origins of Mother Vine are not privy to everyone who walks into this hut.
What if they have something good to offer in return for information?
Such as she grips the broom.
Like delivering blessed wart to the rest of the town?
Such as a
So
sacred
now you're
weapon.
holding our town hostage.
No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Bruce, shut up. What if they had a sacred weapon of these twin gods? taken from a cursed sentinel.
She looks around the room nervously. The first like kind of like break in her like tone. And then kind of like somewhat throws her hands up in like giving up. She's, why don't you ask her yourself? And just looks at the altar and walks away. Not like out of the room, but walks like just over to one of the doorways that leads to where, Bruce, you know, there's a bunch of just like junior druids that are like, what's going on in there?
Looking to the rest of the party, Jacquette's like, I don't really want to talk to her.
I mean, Septimus, you like to talk to deities, right?
Ones
Whoa,
that I'm
whoa, whoa.
familiar with. Don't just brush it off that I'll talk to anything, but...
I mean, I could talk to her. I'm pretty blunt, but
He has already insulted her, I think, Baron says, looking at Bruce.
I never insulted her, all right? I just was saying that we were at the right place at the right time, all right?
I suppose what I should actually say is that you have a habit of saying blunt things that get under people's skin.
Okay.
And by habit, I mean I've seen you do it twice.
Septimus will
This
walk up
one
to...
environment.
Septimus will walk up to the altar.
Yeah.
He won't place his hands on it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And turning back and just like looking back for a second, just like, Mother Fine.
In like the background, not really to anyone, Jacquette just is like, I don't know why she can't just talk to all of us at once. It seems really rude, actually.
Yeah, she's like listening the whole time, also.
Yes.
Can you two of you give me wisdom saving throws?
Get him.
5.
You got 10, Bruce?
Yeah.
All right, Bruce, you make it. So you take 1 point of psychic damage, Bruce. Jacquette, you take 2 points of psychic damage. As there's just a real mean migraine that goes into your head right now. That does feel somewhat like there's roots writhing in your brain.
Would both of you be quiet for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Drop something. Okay, sorry.
He says that at the altar. As he drops
it-
like you drop like your pen in like the blood pool that Saskia
No,
had created.
He'll take out the Gleamrock crook, and I'll hold it in his hands like this, but he won't play it on the table yet. I'll just hold it there. It's like, if you've been overhearing any of this, my companion speaks the truth. We acquired this from a sentinel down at Stormbreaker Landing. It has the power, it feels, of Pescos and Ladan within it, but it's been corrupted somehow. Is there a way to turn it into more of a weapon to use against this ongoing corruption?
You see, or you feel a brush of that breeze once again flow from behind those curtains in the back. This breeze does kind of brush over your body, and you kind of can feel like you can feel the chill of an autumn breeze. It's oddly nice though, because you've been outside in a blizzard all before this. So this is almost like a comforting cold within the actual quite humid environment of this hut. And you you would hear a voice in your head, Septimus, but it doesn't, like, Fyrn and Saskia accepted the voice into their heads through somewhat of an offering. You are also offering something, but this almost feels like you feel the vibrations of the altar, almost like they're resonating in your skull to hear the voice, as opposed to a magical message. And something that has been ever present for all of you who have interacted with Mothervine is everything has felt incredibly physical versus like a magical etherealness. Everything has felt like it has been very materialistic, as opposed to an entity in some other plane of existence influencing you. Like you're familiar with some of your interactions with divine magic. This feels very primal, one could say.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're holding this staff out, you can see from the shadows of the altar, creeping kind of up from the base, almost crawling over the altar itself, are roots that then almost like stem out and wriggling almost like an octopus's tentacles towards the staff. They're not like rushing and grabbing it, but there's almost like a magnetic pull to the staff. There's no the voice in your head though that reverberates does say, would you let my roots touch the artifact? And like Saskia and Fyrn experience, this voice is mellow, melodic, comforting. Even if you aren't yourself comfortable right now, like the vibe of it is comfort.
Your willingness to at least ask inclines me to say yes. As I'll offer it a little bit further.
The tendrils reach out blindly, almost like in that same way, like you could see like an octopus reaching for something that's not within its sight. They kind of just slowly reach out, getting closer and closer to it, as if you have to give like the final push to have them take it, or at least touch it. So if you present it a little bit closer, the tendrils will kind of wrap over it, and begin to hold on to it and pull it closer to the altar.
If it has a firm grip
Mm-hmm.
and it's pulling it towards the altar, at some point, if it's pulling it away from me, I'll let it go of it.
Okay. It will pull it away from you, and pull it to the altar. And like I said, the altar is at a 45-degree angle, the stone of the altar. As you see clearly, so that blood can pour down from a sacrifice into the cup.
Mm-hmm.
But it just pulls the staff onto the altar, and then you see the roots just keep going towards it from underneath, almost to the point when the stone of this altar is now almost covered in these thin tendrils of roots.
Yeah.
And you can see there is some kind of combat happening, almost, it seems. The roots of the staff of the Grimrock Crook begin to like lash at the roots of
back.
Mother Vine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And push it away. As you would hear this, Septimus, but it's not. It's almost like you're almost just hearing it because of your proximity and that you offered the staff. She's not speaking to you. She's almost speaking to herself, maybe to the staff even. As these roots are fighting, you could almost hear strain in her voice. There's no longer the spring calm, but more the grit of winter in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Vile, vile heathens. Cruel mages. Meddling. Like your kind. Ignorant to the majesty they bear. They hold war to the wilds. All men, your sins are endless. As you then see her roots kind of retract from it. And the staff still stays there on the altar. Still corrupted. And as it kind of the air calms for a moment, or at least between the two of you, as you kind of, everyone else is watching from the side, you have felt this like energy here, this vibration. The voice then calm as spring again, like a trickling water in your mind. The staff can be purified.
And you.
With time.
Then you may hold on to it for now. For we have a task that we must finish ourselves now to distribute the blessed ward. I'll come see you. We'll come see you and any progress you may make after the blizzard has passed. At least to just study how to combat the evil that's within.
Return of such an artifact, or offering chance for blessing, is appreciated, is welcome. Thou art more respectful than thine compatriots.
We share the same foe. There's no reason for us to squabble.
Thou art touched. There's an, you don't, she doesn't continue, she just says thou art touched, and there's a, you feel a sense of curiosity. Not you are curious, there's a curiosity from her that you can feel in the vibrations in your mind. And it's, all of the words that she says do have this sort of slight vibration to them in the way she says them. And then you can feel her presence leave your physical skull as there's no longer vibrating there. And like, Sass, you also would have felt that same physicality when she was speaking to you. You saw hallucinations of her, but you felt the physical presence of her voice in your head. And those hallucinations themselves were physical too, in the sense that she had her roots within your body and spirit. You were, nothing you guys have experienced here with her has been extraplanar.
Interesting. Was that conversation heard by everyone? Or was it just in my head?
You. Just you. Weirdly enough, now that I'm like thinking about it, like Bruce, you might have a unique ability to like hear her.
Hear the
because of your
vibrations
tremor
inside my
sense.
head.
Like a unique ability to like slightly hear it as if it's a whisper from afar. Very like almost like if you're listening to a really old recording, that's somewhat unintelligible.
Okay. In that case, I imagine Bruce would like after like hearing her initially speak to Septimus, he'd probably like find a way to like keep listening.
Mm-hmm.
And would I have picked up on everything?
You wouldn't have picked up on everything. It would have been very much tonal, Bruce. It's very much in the spirit of like a recording from like the 1910s. It's just sort of, so you're just like hearing like very much like slightly sped up, slightly slow. Yeah, exactly. Very much in the spirit of Brennan Lee Mulligan's interpretation of that one prompt on Make Some Noise, where it would just sort of be like, thou art touched. Thou art touched. Where maybe you might make out some words. You certainly can make out tone and mood. So like you can definitely hear when there's anger, when there's peace, when there's something, the emotions of the voice.
Okay.
After feeling the...
You could... Septimus, though, like, everything you said was out loud. Like, people would have heard that.
After feeling the presence leave Septimus's head, he'll turn around and say, Mother Run will keep the artifact for now. It may be cleansed, but it may take some time. And more study.
I was talking about the swords. You know, the two swords that we don't use?
Well, I don't have that.
Yeah, they're in the bag of holding. Since no one was using them, I thought that they could be a good barter chip. Also, did you ask her if she's connected with Pescos or Ladan? I didn't quite hear that come out of you.
Why don't you talk to her, Jacquet?
Oh, no, I don't fuck with these kind of people. No offense, he says quickly afterwards.
There's... yeah. I will say, Septimus, like, there is an undoubtable connection based on her reaction to examining the crook. Like, just the way she spoke about it, the things she said.
Yeah.
You're not sure the nature of it. Like, if she is of their cult, if she is directly related to them in some way, or if she is just some sort of follower of their wills or anything like that. You just know that the way she spoke about this crook and the wizards who corrupted it, and that's kind of the context you can get from what she said, she has two sides of her. A side that is very charitable and agreeable to the almond spirit, and another side that with a burning vitriol hatred hates almond.
Gotcha. No, I didn't directly ask her, but I have a sense. What does it matter to you? Whether she's not connected or not. She facilitates the druids here and cultivates the blessed wart that is fighting off the enemy that we need to face.
Right, but from what we've been learning, it seems like there's a connection between Pescos and Ladan in this creeping death. Whether they're fighting against it, whether they're responsible for it, whether it's just two sides of the same coin, hasn't been made abundantly clear, to me at least. And to know whether one of their followers residing in this town can actively assist us in better informing about the situation, I thought was the purpose of that. If I spoke, did not make that abundantly clear, I apologize. That's just the information I was going for.
Jacquet, as you're saying this, you feel a gust of wind. Everyone feels the gust of wind, but then Jacquet, you particularly feel the gust of wind come behind you and push you forward towards the altar.
Oh, no. And like you see him like getting pushed forward and his claws and his feet dig in. It's a stone floor?
The floor, there's wood, and then the center has like the center is stone. So there's a wood.
Okay, so I
surrounding.
imagine it's the wood. You hear the sound of claws on wood, and then it like goes to the scraping on stone. And he's like, "No, no, no. I appreciate the offer, but as I said, and I mean no offense, I don't fuck with this kind of shit."
She clearly wants to talk to you. Why not? You don't have to touch the altar or anything. Just ask her the questions yourself, since you want to know the answers.
Looking around very suspiciously, he goes, "Do you want an offering? Or whatever?"
As you say, do you want an offering? The numb pain of your migraine vanishes. It almost feels warm and lovely.
Hey, Bruce,
Sean-
can I get into that bag?
Yeah, you got it. And Bruce,
I imagine Jacques just reaches his arm in. There's a moment where he touches the abyssal lockbox and he goes, "Oh no, I'm not cursed by that anymore." And then he pulls out one of the gleamwrought swords. And he's like, "Okay." He walks up and like leaning against it, against the altar, and like holding, not like adjacent to the sacrificial space, and like holding onto the sword. He kind of like, leans against it and looks over side-eyed to the rock and go, "I'd look you in the eye, but I don't exactly know where that is."
One, you now, like everyone who's close to it, feel the way it affects space around it, the vibrations. On your elbow. It's almost a little weird feeling as you lean on it.
Oh.
As you also notice, though, just like, neither you nor Septimus are sure if this is like entirely Mother Vine doing this, or if there's like a livingness to this rock. But the tendrils that were contesting with the crook. Yeah.
Sorry, point of clarification. Did we see those tendrils touching the crook?
Yes, all of you saw that. All of you saw that, yeah. And the crook is still there. Like, the crook is still there. You would see these tendrils, just like a few of them just like come up and like you feel them kind of like brush against your arm that's on the altar. But they all seem to be almost
immediately.
They all are magnetically almost like pulled towards the sword itself.
And Jacques holds it back as if like he's not offering it up just yet. He's like, "Okay, let's talk first." And then he just kind of chooses to look directly into the bowl as like a focus point.
If there was any kind of focus points, it would be the bowl, or at the center of the altar is a rather large, like almost like a large plate-sized Triskelion design carved into the stone that is just sort of, in a very gross way, kind of caked red in the divots of it. Like there is blood stained into the altar in a somewhat permanent way within this rather ornately carved Triskelion. But you look into the bowl where you can see there's still some remnants of Scarlet's, of Saskia's blood.
Woof.
It's offering your hands to an altar to let roots into your skin is a very Scarlet move from Saskia. Not in the same way, but very in a...
No, she would totally do the same thing.
Yeah.
She wants memories too.
That's true.
She wants...
Although those ones were very directly stolen from her. Anyway, you feel that same vibration in your head as if there's a presence emanating from the altar into your skull, where it's almost like the vibrations echo against your bones to hear it. Like, has anyone ever used the bone amplifying headphones before? It's basically like that. Anyway, the voice says to you as you say that, I'm sorry, can you repeat the last thing you said?
"You want to make a deal?" Something to that effect.
Yeah. You were basically like, basically pulling the blade away. Think I'm not offering right away and want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So the voice says to you, "Thou'rt seek information. Thou'rt seek history. Arcana. Truth.
Answers is what I would say.
How should I know to trust thee with answers?
You don't. But if we're being totally honest with each other, I probably won't do much with the answers that you give me. And whatever I do with them will be to fight the Herald and the Creeping Death. So, if they're truly your enemy, as you say, you should want to share this information with me. Because I'm not going to do anything with it, besides use it to take that bastard down and save these people.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Natural 20.
Really?
Yeah. That's a 32.
32.
It's a damn good argument.
It is a good argument. It's a better argument than just asking for information.
Right.
And so you do feel a sense of, as that sort of vibration is kind of moving through your skull, like it does feel a little probing. Like you don't feel any magical effects on you. Like she's not reading your mind or anything. But she's present physically in your skull.
Right.
As she would say, go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't know how much it matters, and it's not like I have anything at this point. Eventually, rogues get the ability to like hide their minds a little better against magic. So I don't have that feature yet, but Jacques is attempting to do something like that, where he is trying to lock away parts of his mind and just be like the only thing she would have access to, from surface level. Like if it was a detect thoughts, he's like forwarding just like their current mission and everything that's happening.
It's like in the Halo novels where Keyes is just giving his rank and whatnot to the Gravemind. But anyway,
random cut.
I know.
I like it.
It's random because I literally just was like reading something about it the other day, so it's just like, oh wow, that's exactly what this is. But yeah, so you interestingly, you're doing this without, you're uncertain though if anything's actually happening,
right?
Like if she's actually probing or not. But you are training yourself to react that way to the probe. But she says, "Thou'lt bear the blade of a knight who art verdant before I share knowledge. How didst thou come upon this blade?"
We were in the sewers of Stormbreaker Landing. There were some knights. I think they're already dead, but we put them to rest. There was a sentinel who was not quite like them that actually kind of asked us to put him to rest. And then when we did, he showed up randomly and was like, "Hey, good job." And then actually, Blessed Wart sprouted from their bodies. Fyrn took some. I don't remember what we did with it. Anyways, long story short, we killed the guys and took their weapons.
And thou, what do you want? What are you seeking in the cold north?
I told you, we're gonna fuck up the Herald. Excuse me. Imst is art going to taketh down the arch enemy of Cercanto.
One friend, one compatriot bears a dark passenger, another curiosity of the faithful, one an impossible task. another uncertain, though disrespectful like you.
You see, Jacques is like looking at each of his companions, like, I think she's talking about Saskia first, and then Fyrn, and then was that Septimus, and then that was definitely Bruce at the end.
Yeah, Bruce does throw up the middle finger because he can hear.
Anyone who's paying attention to this would kind of like weirdly enough see like a little like cluster of roots just sort of return the middle finger at him. But you, brazenness of selfishness, shielding your true intentions. And you are getting the sense that there's just like a distrust coming out from her. Like she agrees with your logic, but there's just a significant distrust of you.
Look, lady, you don't have to trust me to work with me. It's actually something that I was taught in business school. Sometimes it's better not to trust your associates. It keeps you on your toes. So let's put it like this. I'm asking the questions. I've got the sword to offer. If you want the sword, answer the questions. If not, let's go on our merry way.
Present the blade of the knight who art verdant.
He's doing it, and he just says kind of under his breath, he goes, when you say aren't verdant, it sounds like aren't.
I said art.
I know, but it sounds like, as he places it on the stone.
The roots collect around it. Although, unlike the crook, this is not a corrupted blade. So the roots actually just bear it and sort of like, very somewhat grossly kind of like carry it away from the stone and just sort of wrap entirely around it and then descend into the ground, and it disappears. What art thou questions?
Eskos and Ladan, what can you tell us about these twin gods of gleam and rot? Are you connected to them?
I know them. I am tethered to them in more ways than one. Born of ordning spirits and almond spirits. Ardent bound. The mages of what you call Stormbreakers Landing meddled with these old entities in an attempt to stop the undeath. I fear that all they've done is expose frail gods to the tendrils of corruption. As you can see with this holy artifact.
Right, but Peskos Ladan, what are they? Ardening spirits, what does that even mean? And he kind of looks back at Septimus like, do you fucking know what this, keep fucking saying this shit.
Ordning spirits were some of the first to take breath, the first to speak, the first to think.
Are they gods?
If that word is what you wish to call entities
No.
with those abilities. For the sake of this conversation, they are gods.
Okay, great, perfect. And you are tethered to them. Does that make you one of their proteges? One of their followers?
That is less clear to even me.
Okay.
Peskos and Ladan are bound within the body of Arden. They are Arden bound, imprisoned within this world, fighting to see the sun. The roots of Ladan, serrated, thorned, constantly compete with the flowers of Peskos. Unbeknownst to them, they bind each other to the planet. Neither able to fully access their power to escape.
Gee, sounds like they should just kind of talk it out or something, right? You know, communication, it helps all relationships.
The people of this land have worshipped them for a long time.
Strange then that they don't know their names.
There are very few people left of that civilization.
Okay, and this herald, any connection, this creeping death, any connection with Peskos and the Dun?
The root network of Ladan is an effective distributor of plague. The flowers of Peskos fight these plagues. Blessed wart. Ladan is not, to my knowledge, an evil god. That is how you would put it. But whatever is... And you see the roots all kind of point towards the staff, the crook. Whatever is corrupting them is taking advantage of these roots. The herald represents that corruption.
But he's not the corruption?
The herald?
Correct.
No.
Oh, fucking great. And like turning back to the rest of the group, he's like, I don't know if you understood that, but it's not only the Herald and his fucking dragon we have to take down, but there's something else causing this corruption. So, cool, I guess. The list keeps getting longer.
You seem satisfied with the answers you're getting.
It does scratch an itch.
You have a tendency to fight back against the hand sharing knowledge.
Oh, I apologize. I meant no disrespect to you. I'm just generally frustrated with the situation we find ourselves in.
The corruption seeps from the land. Specifically to the north. Past Smolto, in the rock and ice, beyond its streets and towers. Beneath its temples. The Arkan Glacier. An icy tomb from which the vile rot of the undeath corrupts.
What rests in that tomb, O Mother Vine?
A dead god.
Turning to the rest of the group, he goes, "Oh, it's a dead god. That's what's causing it. It's a dead god, guys. Oh no, easy peasy." Turning back to the stone again. No disrespect. I'm just not very happy with the answer you gave me. I'm not unhappy with you. Just the answer. Nothing to do with you. Just the information. I want to make that very clear.
Looking at Septimus, can you kill a dead god?
There's been many gods throughout the analogs that have been necessarily killed, but their magic definitely remains. I think it's possible this is what happened here.
They kill a dead god.
13? No, Bruce, you don't make that out.
Okay.
Junkrat looks down at his hands and then, after a moment of thought, clenches his fists, pulls back, and goes, "As I said before, I'm not about that shit. I mean, no disrespect, of course."
To someone who means no disrespect, your tone is unquestionably disrespectful.
I think it has to do with how I was raised. I swear I don't do it on purpose. At this point, I think it's just built into me.
It drips with one who's running from something.
Okay, we don't. Okay. And at that, Junkrat just turns on his heel and walks away. He goes, "Yeah, well, dead god, I got us some information. Pretty good stuff, I think. So how about that blessed wart?"
If you peek outside, you would see that they are still harvesting it. They'll be back in soon, but they are harvesting it right now. Is there anything else anyone would like to do until we wait for the blessed wort to come inside? In this humid environment.
Should I contact maybe someone at the academy to figure out how to kill a dead god, or remove its presence?
My experience with academics, they're full of hot air and not really worth the time. I don't even know who you would connect with there.
Sigil?
Yeah, I was thinking Sigil.
You seem to be pretty knowledgeable. Have an eye on our interests. And there's also... forget his name. Who's the person you enrolled into the school that was interested in astrology and stuff? You could do a little research.
Yeah.
Where is his fucking
Lucas?
name?
Luke?
Yeah, Lucas.
It's like, or, I mean, if Cadmus might be busy with his schedule, Lucas is always one to learn about the nature of gods.
Yeah.
You could do some research for us in the meantime.
Even though we can't give him a name, right? You didn't get a name, Jackwet?
Fortunately not.
Tell him to first look up the history of gods that no longer exist. What happened, effects within the region. Anything he can provide as to where the magic or the power resided afterwards. I guess it's the best place to start.
Is there any... I can only say this in 25 words.
Well, it's your pipe, right?
Yeah.
You can use it multiple times.
Lucas. No, we can do this in 25 words. I feel like I've done this before. Many, many times, actually.
Dear Lucas.
How about How about we
We-
take a short break and you guys can come up with your 25-word message while we're on a short break.
Oh, shit.
We're gonna do that.
Yarp.
Yarp. Yarp.
Yarp.
All right. We're gonna take a short break, and then we will return. Hopefully with a message for Lucas, our research fellow at the academy. All right, we'll see y'all in a bit. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. So, our heroes have questioned Mother Vine about the origins of Peskos and Ladan and the creeping undeath, as well as offered up a sword of a knight who art verdant, as well as a crook, a gleamrock crook that is corrupted by the rot. I'm sorry, not the rot, the undeath. You learned that there is a dead god in the Arakan Glacier that is behind the spread of the undeath. Yes.
Can I get a spell check on that?
On the glacier name?
Yeah.
Yes. 1 second. Don't want to get my own lore wrong. Arikhen.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yes, the Arakan Glacier territory. But you have decided you're going to send a message to Lucas Pascal, who is your researcher at the academy that you have, I believe, falsified credentials for to get into the academy.
Doesn't sound like us.
Whatever kind of research you want him to do. He is. The funny thing is, like, you haven't needed to use him in a while, so he's just been having the best time of his life researching things in that library and probably hanging out with Sigil, honestly. It's been a while, though, since you've spoken to him, I think. Anyway. Who is sending the message? Bruce? Brucey boy?
Yeah, take a
What a Bruce, man.
go in the corner, away from Jack Wet, and
I appreciate you.
let her up. Dear Lucas, can you please... Dear Lucas, can you please research dead gods, specifically those that might have died in the north of Afdal that exclude undeath? Thanks, love, Bruce.
XOXO smiley face.
XOXO. Gossip Bruce.
Yeah.
You mean Dan? Spoiler.
You're right. Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
Lucas responds.
Man.
I have done some of this research for Fyrn. I mean, not the exact research you're talking about. No, I have not done this research for Fyrn. I have not done this research for Fyrn. But I have heard some things of the North in my other research. You like look over and like Fear this whole time has been in the corner. Like imagine like biting his thumb, like 1,000-yard stare after learning that he has to die in order to return the helmet. In the North, I found an academic, Ezra Aratre, a wizard, world traveler who used to frequent the North to try to learn things about the Sindonok, the conflict of the gods long ago that shattered Aldhalor and You know the stories, the wayward one, everything of that sort. He was seeking out these very corpses you're speaking of dead gods. There must be pillars of bones, flesh of the world, must contain or be made up of the many gods who died in that conflict. I think the writings of Gwenvalier about the corpse of Bearet in Ghost of Ruination. I don't know the exact god that you speak of, but I can do more research and see what I can find. Ezra spoke with the tribes in the north, the villages in the north. The deeper north, actually. He went to Nordicos. Spoke with some of the tiefling tribes there that Fyrn comes from, to learn more. I can see if I can find more of his writings.
Bruce will send another message. Yeah, more information, any details, any sort of names you can get would be great. I'll reach back out in 2 days. How does that sound?
That should be plenty. I'll get to work. And like you can hear this pause in your head of him like clearly wanting to keep talking to you. But this may have connections to the research you all were doing earlier about ordaining spirits and the divine. Perhaps I can do more research and whatever it is you need. I can busy myself and I enjoy the lively discussions with Sigil, strange man. But there's a more you need. And you just generally just like are hearing like an eagerness from someone who is like you essentially are his only friends ever. A man who's alone. His whole family's passed, and he has one person that he talks to, Sigil. And Sigil, as you all know, is a little weird. But he'll do the research. But.
All right, and I relay all that to the group.
I'm sorry, he was doing research for Fyrn. Is that what it says as he just gives him a side eye?
Fyrn is, because Clayton is in Japan, Fyrn is again, he's kind of in somewhat of he's locked in on his thoughts.
Lock it in. All right, well, glad to see Lucas is still working for us. Good man.
Door kicked open, as you can see, Marine coming in with her winter garb all on as she drops down a satchel of harvested blessed wort. And she unwraps the scarf, takes off a hat, takes off several layers. As you can see, like steam actually kind of rising from her as it is so warm in here. And she just, ugh. That should be enough to go around. It's most of our store, but when the storm passes, we'll harvest what we can and try to cultivate something from what's left to propagate with Mother Vine.
Did we say that plants growth wouldn't work? Did we decide that? Because I think I might be able to do that. I haven't tried it yet.
And there's a look of like shock on Marine's face, and then like a quick realization that she was just very rude.
No, I agree. You can?
We've Mother Vine has attempted herself, and we have as well.
Ah, all right. Well, if she or you can't do it, then I definitely can't. So yeah,
There's no
I can't.
harm.
No, I can't.
You can try if you wish. We'd be
Oh,
grateful
what's-
if it worked.
But I don't know that it would work, but I'm happy to give it a shot.
I think it would be very beneficial if it works even a little bit, Saskia. So please, try your magic. See what you can do.
Okay. I don't really know what I'm doing. I only really work with I don't even work with plants. Not even the underwater kind, but I okay. And I've actually never used this spell before, so let me just read it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Choose a point within range. Aldhalor plants in a 100-foot radius. Well, it's not normal, is it? In a 100-foot radius sphere centered on that point becomes thick and overgrown. So that's overgrowth, or there's enrichment. All plants in a half-mile radius centered on a point within range become enriched for a year. The plants yield twice the amount of normal food when harvested. So when you all have tried this before, did you try and grow more, or did you try to enhance its vitality? Viability. Whatever word fits there.
Well, we've used the enhancement, the enrichment aspects of the magic to keep the blessed wart from withering. The greenhouses are, in essence, affected by this type of magic to keep the blessed wart alive in an environment where it would never survive.
Okay, so
Or at
that's
least in
already
its-
been tried.
At least within the state that it is here. Pure blessed wart that grows naturally in Sumalto can survive this climate, no problem. Propagated blessed wart, which is all we have, does not survive as well.
All right.
Except
well,
with
then
this magic.
I'm gonna try to looking at the sack of plants that she brought in, the blessed wort. I'll try and see if I can grow that a little bit. Just give it a shot, and if that works, then I can maybe do it in the greenhouses as well. Okay. I kind of just very gently, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Very gently reach out my hands and just kind of concentrate, and all I've really known is water ocean magic, so I try not to think about salt water because I don't think the plant's gonna do well in that. Instead, I try to think of the warm sun and pulling the blessed wort, just stretching it a little bit more.
Okay. So you go ahead and cast that. And you're doing
do.
overgrowth or enrich?
Overgrowth.
Okay. So the normal plants in this room, because if you remember I said there's a ton of normal plants in this room, all begin to overgrow out of their pots and everything.
Shit.
Because it's in a 100-foot radius
foot
around
sphere.
you. So all of the plants that they keep in here begin to grow and grow and grow. Create there's a desk in the corner that has a bunch of writings and scrolls on it, and there's just a hanging plant there that just suddenly it's just and just literally covers the desk in vines and whatnot. You can see there's just it's kind of somewhat exposing how much plant life is in this space, as areas where you didn't even notice that there was plant life suddenly are overgrown with vines and leaves and flowers. All the flowering plants bloom, even though they were probably not blooming before this. The blessed wort does seem to react to your magic. all of the overgrowth you're noticing in all of these plants is changing the plants. They are going from what you'd consider a house plant to slick, almost seagrass-like growths, where some of them were upright plants that suddenly collapse down because they are now plants that would rely on a sea current to grow normally.
Right. Yeah.
There's water begins to form beneath the blessed wort. And the light, the glowing light of it changes slightly. There's almost a flickering of the gold, and your heart and stomach might sink for a moment as you see a flash of green, sickly green, come over them for a moment before it flickers back to gold as they start to kind of grow out from underneath the wrappings. You can still notice a little bit of green hue to the gold. Your patron is not stronger than this ancient line of blessed wort to completely overtake it and pervert its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But she's now got a little in with it a little bit.
Right. Well, good news and bad news. And a little bit more bad news. Sorry about this. You now live in it.
You hear coming out from that back closet, kind of you see Deirdre come running out. Deirdre is now dressed in completely she's got a she looks like she's doing laundry. She went off and just started doing chores after she got frustrated with Jacquette and Bruce. She comes running out with her broom. She's just like, who cast the plant growth? As Marine's like, it's fine, Deirdre. We just asked her to experiment a bit. And Deirdre looks at you. Goes, you?
Yes, me.
First time?
Right.
First time?
Could you fucking tell?
It's okay. She kind of twirls the broom and sets it down as if she's like a sentinel with a spear. And she just immediately goes and starts tending to all of these plants. You see two sheepish junior druids come out to follow her and help her.
Great. So that's part of the bad news. Good news is it looks like it grew a little bit. But the other bit of bad news is I may have corrupted it a little bit. Unintentionally, of course. Unintentionally.
Pardon?
Unintentionally. I mean,
Corrupted?
Okay, maybe that was too strong of a word to use. The golden light that it usually exudes. There's a little bit of a not so looking green that was in there, and I don't know if that's going to do anything.
Marine's eye twitches.
I saw.
Blessed Mother Lion, you best have some reason to trust these fools.
I'm sorry. I tried.
What's done is done.
I suppose you don't want me to go do that in the greenhouses.
Well, let's just hope it didn't affect the greenhouses, because they are within 100 feet of here.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, Crescent Heart. Okay. Well...
Jesus. Oh, it's Jesus.
Shall we, divvy up that's fucking hell. Okay.
We best get moving soon. People are going to rush down out of Blessed Wort any moment now.
Yep. Okay. Is there a part that looks particularly worse than others? Because I'd like to keep that part for ourselves.
It is wherever it is overgrown. The base. The reason why I'm saying it's an echo of the green is that what was there first.
Yeah.
Is gold.
Okay.
Is pure
right,
gold.
Great.
It's great. What you've grown out of it that has this new, and there's a clear delineation.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So we'll. Okay. Upon further inspection, we're gonna keep the bit that I touched, and we'll just use what you had.
That sounds like it's for the best.
Yeah.
And she looks over at Jacquette. And look, you've got some to experiment with now.
Jacquette looks between her, Sass, and then looks over at Baron and goes, "Yeah, sure, totally."
I'll speak with Mother Vine to see if we can spare some of what's left.
"Yeah, sure, totally."
She looks around. She looks to Baron and is like, I have no read on this man. I have no read on him. What is this a positive, negative reaction? And Baron just shakes his head and says, we're going to get going. We'll be back shortly. All right. And Baron lifts up the bag of blessed wort and nods to you all to head out. We've messaged the council members. They'll meet you at the entrance to each camp.
Remind me, Sean, were there any blessed wart lanterns exuding light outside any households? Like, were there some at the gates?
No.
Anything like that? Ugh.
Everyone's already dead.
Baron looks to you all as he opens the door and you step out into the cold. You're still in the light of the greenhouses. They're significantly dimmer than they were earlier before you walked inside. As he looks to you all and says, Septimus, do we still have blessed wort remaining in your lantern?
I do believe so. Let me assess to see how much is left, as I would do so.
So you see that you do have you probably have just enough to do this. To get through the whole town and get back either here or to your home.
And then, well, if we get back to our home, will there be enough to try to wait out the storm?
There would be some here, but there also would be Sass's extra that you could use.
Her special flavor.
Yeah, her special blend.
Limited edition.
That's marketing.
And you see Baron is like stretching because he took some hits too out there. Not as much as everyone because he was keeping his distance, but he draws his sword out and expects it, closes it, looks at his arrows, sees how many he has left, and then looks and says, well, if we have your lanterns, hopefully the council leaders will still have some in their own store to come out with their lanterns. If they don't, we'll have to pry them out. Make sure they trust us to come out of their homes. I imagine some of them will have blessed wort, hopefully a majority of them, but there may be a few that we have to go and knock on the door of their homes. I know the homes of each of them, so if we don't see one at the entrance, we'll know that they don't have enough blessed wort to step out. Hopefully this will be easy. It'll just be a delivery to each camp.
Now that we're out of Mother Vine's vines, we can like walk and talk. Yorke goes like, so this agreement between you and the druids, the hags as it were. Care to elaborate any more on that, or?
He looks at you and smiles as he's putting his bag back on, sheathing his sword, putting his bow away. Strange, aren't they?
One way to put it.
Well, entities like Mother Vine, they tend to be hard to get information out of, for one reason or another. Otherworldly entities as they are. But I have, so long as I continue working with them, I have access to their other stores. And they don't ask as many questions when you're providing them with something directly. that is an immediate benefit to them. Like fresh blessed wart that keeps them in power here. Like I said to you, Jacquette, cults of the land speak in such ways of rooting out memories from the rock and earth. They have lost a lot of power in the last 100 years, let's say. They maintain theirs this way. My assumptions. So, I keep them supplied with blessed wart. Allows them to maintain hold over this town. Or influence in this town. They give me access to their stores. For other supplies.
When you say other supplies, what are we talking about here? Magic weapons? Cool armor? Things that go boom?
He holds up his quiver. Or he kind of pulls his quiver up. Taps on his arrows. There are blessings to be had. Though I do loathe the feeling of entering that room. No doubt those of you who communicated with Mother Vine felt the way she presents herself.
Like burrowing into your mind.
And skin.
She also has a way of seeing into that mind. And asking questions that a man would rather not explore. As I've said to you already, I have a checkered past. And I've done through great effort. I've toiled with great effort to overcome that past. Mother Vine, when she looks to those of you who spoke with her, for all her benevolent, lilting voice and questions of comfort, has a tendency to seek out what makes you uncomfortable, what you're unhappy about. She'll begin the conversation asking you about your interests, asking you about the questions you have about the world, about your life and your choices. It's not long. Like the fae she is, those are no longer ornaments for her tree, but weapons against you.
Wonderful.
He seems very nice.
I'm no stranger to such deals and how they can be tempting and how they may be worth it.
Because you were a warlock before.
Yes, but just the economy of your spirit.
Never thought about it that way. It's interesting insight, Baron.
If you understand the risks going into it, you have a chance of getting out, as I did. If you don't understand the risks, it's very dangerous. And Mother Vine is the least of those dangers, but she's still dangerous. A fey creature trapped in an undead necrotic winter. She's desperate. And for my worth, I've somewhat taken advantage of that desperation.
Good man. To my own heart.
He shifts his backpack and he smiles at you, but then like the smile kind of fades. Like he's like insecure. Like that's not really who I am, but I'm going to acknowledge that you liked that. Like I should not be. That's old me. You're very much so a man trying to turn his life around is the vibe of Baron, but who is prone to his own sins, like all of you. But you're getting to the edge of the light of the greenhouse, except for Bruce. Bruce is perfect. He's a perfect little boy.
Bruce is a perfect little boy.
He's our special kobold. I think we need to get that lantern up, Septimus.
All right. Septimus will prepare the blessed wart, reignite it, get it ready to venture out.
You get back into your pentagonal formation, and you step out back into the dark. Like last time, the cold is, you feel the cold significantly, even those of you who have special gear. You have to move slow in order to account for Sass and Fyrn, who do not have the privilege of walking on top of the snow like the rest of you. Baron also is slower than the rest of you, but not as slow as them. His ranger abilities allow him to move a little quicker through this. But you begin to move out, and you begin to head towards Nordrock. Does anyone want to do any kind of perception checks or keeping an eye around? You still feel that same sort of like gust of wind. It's actually oddly enough comforting that the blizzard is whipping around, because it means the Herald's not here. But it does restrict your vision. It does give all of the negative effects of a blizzard. Right. So it is difficult to really see and discern things.
I don't think I would, because I'm still getting used to losing my cold resistance. So I'm trying to focus all my energy on being warm.
Mm-hmm. Jacquette will be keeping a watch.
Same.
Go ahead and give me perception checks.
Were these at disadvantage because of the...
Yes. Just double checking the blizzard effects. Blizzards, there we go. Perception checks that rely on hearing have disadvantage, but not if you're specifically
I'm looking
visual. Okay. Visual perception checks do also have disadvantage if you don't have goggles or eye protection. So, Bruce, you are good. The only issue is you only can see out 30 feet, which technically is also all anyone can see out right now. So Bruce, you have a normal perception check. Jacquette, yours is a disadvantage.
All right, 16.
22 and a 16. Okay. Both of you, with the 16 and 22, can at least pinpoint the silhouettes of zombies outside of the 30 feet. Your Blessed Wart does spread out 30 feet. It's not getting affected. It's not getting shrunken. It was the Herald's presence that shrunk your Blessed Wart's presence. So you are seeing some shambling shapes. Bruce, you, with your 22, can see a little bit more. You can see what you don't see, which is you don't see that sort of shifting aurora green energy moving around anywhere near you, which is what gave sort of like animated energy to the undead here. That light did seem to be an incorporeal form of the Dread Lieutenant. Long story short, there's no seeming sign of a Dread Lieutenant nearby. And you can kind of even understand with this insight that, like, you're really not in a lot of danger so long as the Blessed Wart is alight and there is no Dread Lieutenant nearby. And also, dead gnolls also are a problem. They can get past the Blessed Wart, but you don't hear any hyena laughter. You don't hear any larger undead shambling around. The road to Nordrock seems safe.
Okay. Yeah, I relay and point out that information too.
Okay. As you guys are walking about, you would eventually see some light in the distance. As you can see, another blessed wart light by a smaller palisade wall with a very simple double door gate. It has no gatehouse. It's just double doors that are open, or at least one of them is open. You can see a really makeshift sign that is with the word Nordrock burnt into it. As you can see, a beast of a man, probably 6'7", covered in furs all around him. Really big, big bushy orange beard. With a hat with flaps on the side on his head, where you can see strands of long orange hair flowing in the wind. As you can see, Arnson Green Bay, the leader of the Nordrock camp, holding up his own lantern.
Arnson Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
My God, the strongest man in town.
He looks it. He definitely looks it. This man looks like he's half giant. But he cries out through the wind. It's difficult to hear him through the storm, but... Oi! Oi, over here!
Continue to approach him. Are you Mr. Green Bay? The druids have told us about you. We have your ration of blessed wart.
He comes kind of rushing up to you and kind of like grabs onto your shoulder. Septimus is the first person to talk to him. And his hand is like huge. It's like gripping your whole shoulder as he sort of says, "Good lad. We nearly ran out. Thought we were all doomed. Give it here."
So he reaches in his satchel, presents it to him.
As Septimus is doing that, Jacquette kind of slides up next to him and goes, yes, these services are provided by Iron and Mana, the premier adventuring party out of Hyven, the jewel of the south.
Hyven, jewel of the south.
It's a dirty jewel and smells a little funky, but it still glitters in the light.
And you see he smiles brightly, these big white teeth behind this beard. His eyes, it's funny because like the hat is almost like dripping over his eyes, so you can almost like barely see his eyes. As he just some cheer in this dim storm. Thank you, Iron and Mana. I won't forget the name.
It's okay if you do, though. We don't blame
you. He just gives you another grin, like clearly he's like, this is a man who is like, despite like all opposition, like just finds joy in life if he can. as he just laughs and he starts to trudge away and he looks back and he just sort of points ahead down the road towards where you're likely going next.
Yeah, I was literally about to be like, it's a pleasure to meet you, but we need to be hitting the rest of the camps. Which way is the best way to the Green Grave?
Green Grave! That way. Wrap around. Descend down. Careful. I saw some shapes in the distance. Something more than shambling. Good luck. And he starts to walk towards each of the houses to distribute some.
Thank you.
Jacquette, are you going to do that with every person that we meet? You couldn't see it, but I rolled my eyes.
He's done that with every person we've ever met. What do you mean?
It just doesn't seem necessary right now.
He does it to us sometimes. Like, remember me, I'm Jacquette, I'm part of your group.
Okay. Look, I'm just trying to assure that we have a job and get paid at the end of all this. Whether we get paid in coin or we get paid in the love and admiration of people.
And now I make sure you can see my face when I make a face.
Should probably keep moving. Says Fyrn in the back.
Yeah, you should listen to him some more.
No, but he's right. Let's make way this way. As we'll trudge through to head towards Greengrave.
Okay, I need somebody to give me a D10 roll.
Gotcha. Boom. Easy. 1.
Okay.
It's not actually 1. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
It's an 8.
An 8. Okay.
That's even worse.
All right, so you trudge is the word I'm looking for. Trudge. You trudge onward. So you start to get into an area of the town where there's actually a lot more trees. The Green Grave is a semi-forested area. It's a mixture of what look like perpetually frozen dead trees that have like a thick layer of ice on them. And then like regular evergreen trees that are like pine trees. The frozen dead trees are very creepy looking because they clearly, when they died, excreted this red like sap. They almost look like the proto versions of the flesh trees you saw on your way here, but these have been frozen solid to the point where they are no longer infected by the undead. But they do look like they're a little scary looking. And they are these messes of black branches that start to line the path and start to create almost a netted canopy because there's no leaves to actually cover. But you do feel almost like you're entering into a large bramble, domed bramble by these trees. They do offer a little bit of protection from the wind. So while you're in this domed bramble, you actually do not have disadvantage on perception checks to hear things. But you begin to walk down this path that they sent you on. The path is flanked by kind of these big, these small, or not big, small cliffs to the side, or walls that perch up. Everything is covered in snow, though, so it's like you're trudging through what is eventually becoming waist-deep snow here. Bruce is probably... Oh, well, no, Bruce can walk on top of snow, so he doesn't have to be in anyone's back. But as you're approaching, we're going to carry over your 22 and 16. Bruce and Jacquette, you see a light in the distance moving above in the brambles. Something that has this very like ghostly pale white color to it.
We've got something ahead. A spectral form, maybe?
Can we avoid it?
So ahead, you also start to notice the silhouettes of a graveyard, as well as large tombs and mausoleums, as the Green Grave's name indicates. You are basically in like a hallway vestibule to this bramble dome, where you're like walking down the bramble hall, and you're about 20 feet from the entrance to this larger domed area where you imagine is the place where the Green Grave is. So what would you like to do? There is some sort of spectral figure moving up above in the brambles.
Sean, blizzard conditions, does that affect flying?
It does affect flying. It is, let's see, flying by non-magical means is nearly impossible.
Okay. So I have a cloak that lets me gain a fly speed. It is a magical cloak. Does that mean that my flying is magical?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Jacquette goes, give me a moment, guys. He's going to grip the edges of his cloak, and he's going to walk to the edge of the light, and then jumping into the dark, he's going to take flight like a bat. Oh. And he's going to fly up stealthily to the tree branches to try to get a better look. He knows that he can only be out here for so long, because he remembers he was affected by the darkness before. So he's only going to do this to quickly get a closer look at that light, and maybe if he has more time after seeing whatever the light is, if there's an easier, safer path around it.
Okay. Yeah, so as you fly up and look closer to this light, you can see very clearly when you get closer that this is a specter of some kind, a wraith, if you will, that is emanating this emanating this white light with this like almost transparent, similarly lit cloak that sort of is like ragged and teared. It has these large claws, bone claws that are coming out of the sleeves of the cloak. Very much like a bone claw. And then it has this skull that kind of with this extended long neck kind of arches out from this. It's humanoid in shape, but it is odd. It's not quite right. And then you also notice at the base of its cloak where its chest should be, you can see there are several other arms with claws sort of hanging out of the rags. And you can see the skull, when you can see it, is kind of like pocked with eye sockets, almost like eye sockets have grown off of it, each with a little white light inside the shadow of it.
Cool.
And it is just sort of floating around, and occasionally the big claws grab onto a bramble of bushes, of branches, and just pulls itself, almost like something moving underwater, like a predator moving across a coral reef.
From a higher vantage point, do I see a easy path for the party to take to avoid this creature?
You could move from like mausoleum tomb to mausoleum tomb to get to where you can clearly see like a regular building that is probably the home where Leon and the others of this area are. I will say this is the first area you've come across that doesn't have like the person didn't immediately meet you.
Right.
This could be because there's a wraith outside.
So there is a safe path around it.
You would need to stealth probably.
Right.
But it there's cover is what I'll say.
Okay. So Jacquet will quickly, I imagine like he like propelled himself up and flew to this tree, was like hiding in it a bit to observe, looking, and then pushed himself off like he's underwater, and like flew back. And like as he gets into the light, he like curls up the cloak, because the moment he enters, I think it's bright light. Once he enters bright light, he loses the ability to fly. So he like kind of like does a little tumble, and then rights himself as he goes, "That's a wraith. Big old mean, big claws wraith."
Yeah, and even before you jump down to fly back, like being in the dark, even for this moment, like you did start to feel those shadow presences. Like you even like at a point like maybe like pulled your hand back as it felt like something just gently put its hand over yours. And then it felt like something maybe touched your shoulder, and you look and it's just like a branch from the brambles, but like it's that I'm running from the dark feeling. There's something on my back.
Right. There's a safe way around the side, but we'll have to be stealthy, he says, looking at Septimus and Fyrn. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Would it help if we looked like this creature, do you think?
Like physically looked like it?
Yeah. It wouldn't... the North is doing so much for me. I'm discovering all sorts of these new abilities. I can make us seem like wraiths as well, maybe, to leave us alone. We could just message the person. Or
Blessed Wart might give us away. I don't know if... Unless your magic has a way to mask it.
I would be... If we don't have the Blessed Wart,
I'd be afraid. Says bodies and equipment.
That wouldn't magically mask you from... To seem despite the name, to seem like wraiths, like magic aura does. It wouldn't have the like effects of magic aura where they literally
Visibly, we would look like wraiths.
Yeah, but if this creature, the one thing I'll say is your experience in Stormbreaker's Landing was that these things can feel life.
Got it. Okay. Worth the shot. It's fine. I only have a little bit of energy left anyway, so might as well save it.
I'd say we just kill this thing because I think there's a reason why the representative didn't meet us at the gates. Jacques says, gesturing to the wraith, but I'm not really equipped to fight it that well. And the last thing I think we need right now is to slow ourselves with the combat.
Stealth it is.
I'll try my best.
Let me see if I can help us. And Baron sort of pulls his cloak out and sort of does a quick motion with it, and suddenly it just sort of is sort of like shadow magic goes around and sort of slowly descends as he casts Path Without a Trace. Pass without a trace.
I guess rangers are good for something.
Listen, my first character was a ranger. I'm gonna have any of that shit talk.
Okay, talk to me about your hunter's mark.
She was very bad at it.
Wasn't a great spell to begin with.
That's true. That's true.
It's better now.
You're better now.
You're butter now.
So
that's just a plus 10.
It is just a plus 10.
I literally cannot get lower than a 32.
You're not the problem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
All right, everyone, let's get some stealthy checks.
30,
have to?
33.
You guys have a remember? This is the time to say I'm using guidance. I'm using X. I'm using Y.
I'm gonna just tell Septimus to watch out for that twig, giving him +5 to whatever he rolls.
So you now have a plus 15.
That's going to help.
Come on, Seppi.
Even a nat 1 still means a 16.
I can even give you guidance as well. Do you want some guidance as well?
Do I have advantage?
No.
Oh, you get
plus 10.
You have plus 10 from Pass Without a Trace.
And plus
and
5.
then you have plus
from
5,
Bruce.
and also a 1d4.
I have disadvantage, so that's 2.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god.
Yeah, so that's a 2.
Plus 10 is
Beautiful.
12. Plus 5 is 17.
Roll a
And a
d4. Roll a d4.
Wait, roll D4.
Yeah, he
Use
plus
blessing.
2 as well.
I-
For guidance.
Oh,
Or
okay.
guidance.
Okay, so 2 plus 3 plus 15. So
20. I got a 40.
You guys are like, you can't roll that bad as I roll a 2.
So Septimus, what was your final total?
20
20.
So
Okay, can
dirty
someone roll
20.
for Fyrn?
from a 2.
I'll roll.
Okay.
He also has
He also-
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Do we know
I mean,
what his stealth modifier is?
He's
I'm
a
maybe
a
plus
some of
six.
your maybe some of your 40 can help out with this one.
Yeah.
He has a +2, so that's 10 plus 10, so 20. Same as
Okay.
Septimus.
All right, so
With
we have
less help.
20. We have 20. Sass, what you got?
Let's
33.
Bruce?
24, sorry.
24.
Brucey
Okay.
boy.
40. Excellent. Yeah, you guys are keeping it stealth. Thank God for Baron here.
Yeah.
I imagine Baron is. I imagine Jacques, you are leading because you saw an overhead of the path to go.
Mhm.
Baron is right behind you with Septimus, then there with the Blesswort light. You might actually even, like, I'll say in all of this, like, Baron even, like, went over to Septimus and sort of, like, dropped the hood a little bit to make the Blesswort only cover your cluster so that it didn't range out. And there's several moments where you, like, you go to the first mausoleum and you're standing there. And it's, like, generally everything is, like, you don't know what the space is like when it's not during a blackout, but it's, like, you can't help but the intrusive thoughts go into your mind of like, this is an undead storm and we're in a graveyard right now. What the hell are we doing? As like
What
you
the
might,
hell indeed.
you know, you might trip, like Septimus trips over a root and like At first, you look down and see that it
Whoa.
looks like you think like that's an undead arm reaching for me from under the ground. Like there's paranoia setting in, but the warmth of the blessed wort, the expertise of Jacques and Baron, leading you guys through this, keeps you steady-minded. Even at points when you have a moment where you're all up against the wall of the mausoleum, as you hear like right above you on the rooftop, you can see the big tendrilled claws gripping the stone, as you can see kind of like the almost flame like fog like light almost drift down, and as it like just touches your cheek, you can feel your cheek freeze a little bit as this thing. And you look up, like Sass, you like look up and you can see like under the cloak is just clawed boned arms, like almost like this is an octopus wraith where the entire lower extremity is just all clawed arms.
Nope, no thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'll take it.
And then suddenly it just and rushes off to a different part.
Oh, please
After-
tell me we're fucking close to where we need to drop this off.
After
I don't
Mary
wanna
throws a
find
bag. Sorry, had to get my one in. But yes, Sass, as you say that, Baron just sort of nods, and you guys move to the next location. Move to the next location. Make your way to the door. Baron like immediately, like almost like speed walks up to it and just like knocks really gently. It's us. It's us. It's us. It's us. It's us. Door opens up, and Leon immediately pulls you all inside. And you can give him the blessed word. And
When we get inside, Jacques goes up to Baron and like gives him a big smooch on the cheek, and he's like, "I want to keep you. I want to keep you. You're amazing. You fixed them," he says, gesturing to Septimus and Fyrn.
and you see he's
Yes.
Leon looks to you all and goes, "Thank you so much. It's getting really bad here. Hopefully the storm passes and we can meet tomorrow or the next day about those axe beaks." But you,
Stay safe. It's fucking creepy.
I mean, you see, like the whole time, like
yourself.
as soon as you see him, he has his sword like held tight to his chest. He's in his like full armor too. Like he's clearly like was ready to fight if he had to.
Don't worry, you
and-
got us.
You would see in the back corner of the room. First of all, this little room, it's a very small house, but there are bookshelves all along the walls, covered in books. And you can see these old, tattered green banners of the Green Knights that once called this their home. In the back corner, you can see a white dragonborn, kind of sitting in the dark with just a candle with a little bit of blessed wort burning, as he's just sort of staring at you all, really like distrustfully at first. Perhaps it's just the blackout, as he is just sort of like inhales as the burning pipe that he's smoking sort of puts a little light in his eyes.
Would you refer to this shot as like Aragorn in the back?
Wasn't gonna say it, but now
yeah,
that you've said it,
He already got his one reference.
I already got my one.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you for it.
so that's why I said it for
Yeah,
you.
thank you for the assist.
Welcome.
But this is clearly Diadrin, the leader of this area that Leon had mentioned to you the other day. But there's no time to investigate this. You must keep moving. Baron even says this. He's like, "These shadows won't last forever. We need to get back." We'll keep the same stealth rolls for expedience as you.
Oh, how nice of you.
Well, Mike, you couldn't get worse. Well, you could
Yeah,
get one worse.
That's not true. That is not true, sir. I'll have you know.
He could get a nat 1 and then roll worse on his guidance.
Yeah,
That's true. That is actually true. And also, the
We're
Wraith
gonna
could roll
keep
better on
them.
its perception. Because you did also luck out that the Wraith did not roll particularly well on its perception. All right, you move onward. The next location that you go to is the Alto camp.
No, it's yes, it is. No, it's
Yes.
not. It's the Rebel camp, I thought.
Yeah, it's the Revel camp.
It is the Revel camp. I'm bad at my own lists.
Okay.
Septimus. I'm not Septimus. Can someone roll me a d10?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
I already messed up.
We know.
7.
7. Okay.
Minutes in heaven.
Okay. Would anyone like to do a perception check again on this leg of the journey?
Sure.
Can I keep mine?
You're 16,
22.
22.
You can say I have to reroll.
I will ask you to reroll.
Okay. All right.
I got a 16 again.
Okay.
Because I can't get.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay, excellent. This was entirely reliant on what Bruce rolled because of his tremor sense. Because what is the threat on this leg of the journey is only visible to you, Bruce, because it's beneath the snow.
Oh no.
Bruce, there is a tract of land between you all and the Revel camp right now. It's not zombies hiding in the snow to jump out and get you. To you and your tremor sense, it looks as though it's just a field of arms sticking out of the ground. Bony, clawed arms, similar to what the Wraith had under its cloak. And there's just almost like a field of flowers, except those flowers are undead arms that are just sort of in the snow, just sort of twitching every now and then, almost like they're looking for something to grab.
Wait, everybody slow down. I described that to them.
What is it, Bruce?
It's like a field of arms sticking out of in the snow. I wouldn't walk over there. Does there seem to be is it like the entire?
So Bruce,
like,
you would
have
be
to go
able
over
to lead them through a safest path possible. That would give everyone essentially advantage on getting through this field.
What are we rolling?
Okay.
You are rolling either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Do I just automatically succeed?
Bruce, I will say you automatically succeed because of this. Everyone else, though, is following you and is just making sure that they make it through.
We have advantage, right?
Yes.
Thank God. Okay, much better.
Sass, what'd you get?
Easy peasy.
23.
23. Awesome. Stefan?
18.
Nice. Septimus?
Can I do something, Sean?
Sure.
Can I hold an action?
Someone roll for Fyrn, by the way.
Can I hold an action if somebody is about to fall? The first person that's about to fall in the field of flowers, can I cast Vortex Warp on them?
Yeah, I would allow that.
Okay, cool.
I have a feeling it's about to be Septimus. Septimus, what'd you roll?
An 8.
Okay.
Was that with advantage?
No, that's with with advantage.
Oh, yeah, you guys have advantage.
Okay.
Don't roll worse.
19.
Oh, thank God.
19. Okay. What did Fyrn get?
24.
Okay, excellent. We forgot to do this. Septimus, what did Sal get?
Oh.
I forgot to ask about Sal for the stealth, so we didn't have. I'll let that pass. But what does Sal get here?
What does Baron get?
Baron got a 22.
Ah.
Skills. Oh, he's actually got +7 to athletics. Look at that. Bang.
Nice.
Here we go.
He does have advantage.
Sal.
Big
21.
money's found.
Nice.
Or...
Okay.
Yeah, 22.
21 won't do it. So those of you who did acrobatics are kind of keeping your feet quick, and you're almost like just stepping right where Bruce had stepped. There's only a few times, Saskia, where you because you sink into the snow, where Jacques and Bruce don't, where you kind of feel something, and you don't know if it's a hand or if it's a root or if it's something else. It's just that
doesn't matter.
Anxiety. And there's a moment where you jump and you drag your leg through the snow, and you narrowly escape as you see these hands just
No.
and like kind of the arm comes up and it's almost like a snake, but it's a skeletal hand.
I fucking hate this place. Okay. Are we there yet? Fyrn, please.
As
I wanna go
I
back.
imagine Fyrn and maybe even Sal like brute force their way through this. Like some of these, they absolutely like several flowered bone hands grab onto Fyrn's like armor and try to drag him into the snow, and he just is ripping through it, just like ripping his arms off, and just like literally there's just like ripping the skeletal arms off of him as well as they're just like crawling all over him, and he's just like, not today. He's pulling them all off. And you're able to make it through this field. Get to the Alto camp, where you do see waiting for you by the entrance is Hideki, the leader of this camp, to accept your bust wart. Can I get another D10 roll?
I'll do it.
No.
D10.
You're asking too much now, Sean.
2.
Okay. Your path to the Revel camp. I'm sorry, that one was supposed to be the Revel camp.
Now we're going to the Alto camp.
So yes, you are able to quickly deposit the blessed wart with Thalwyn, who's as creepy as he was last time. You almost for a second think that he's part of this horror for a show. Where he just accepts it and he just looks and goes, I thank you heartily for what will surely save my flock.
You're welcome.
Why is he gotta be so weird? Jacquet says in the background.
There's a moment where he's almost like it like I've said before, it always sounds like he's tempting you, even though he's just saying things. He's like, would you like to stay for a while? Rest in the warmth of the camp. And he like almost like holds his hand out and the gate to the Revel tent opens and you smell salted pork. You smell like delicious beverages. There's warmth that comes over and he's like, but for a moment.
Nope.
No, Ro.
No, we're good. No, we're in a bit of a rush.
I understand.
More deliveries.
As he steeples his fingers together and like with the bus wart under his arm and just floats backwards into the tent.
Oh, that's so unnerving.
The entire time with the biggest smile on his face ever. You even swear at one point his head just goes just like snaps to the side. But your path to the Alto camp, where you are actually going to meet Hideki to give the blessed wart to, as Assassin's roll, is uninhibited. You're able to get right there and hand off the blessed wart to the Alto camp.
Dang, we're so
You
good
have
at this.
one more stop before you're back in Old Town with the
Gotta go to the Veil Guard Tower.
So you actually don't even need to stop again in Old Town because you have to go through Old Town to get to the Veilguard Tower. And
wait a minute. Also, is there like a spot we could just post up in the Veilguard Tower? Because we're just using Bruce's
you could
tower.
ask Moira Hiraith if she would let you stay in there until the end.
Well, not necessarily stay in her tower, but like, is there a space next to it that Bruce could put up his house? Because like,
Technically,
did we keep the house, or would we take it with us?
No, the house stays where it is for 24 hours.
Oh, then we would have to go back to Old Town.
It's also the only like actual like military spot here, so they're probably going to be like, no, you can go back into Old Town. There's plenty of abandoned houses. But can someone roll me a d10?
I got it. 9.
9. Okay.
Know what?
So you get back to the gates of Old Town. There's a big arcane lock on it, and you just hear the sounds of rabid hyenas on the other side of the gate.
Oh yeah, those guys.
And you just hear like that jackal-y laugh as they're just, you can hear like the footsteps of it, and then just like occasionally just sort of like chopping, like they're just attacking the gate for no reason. Like they're just like the undead spirits are bored and they're just chopping at the gates. Is every time you hear a loud laugh and the blade chop, you hear someone crying in panic. Because the guards who are stuck in the guardhouse there are freaking the fuck out as it's surrounded by what are most likely these undead gnolls.
We have anything that we could like drop on them that would like fuck them up? He says. Jacquet says, mostly looking to Bruce.
I don't know about drop on them. And the one thing I do have will surely destroy the rest of this place. So
Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
no. Let's take a look what we got here. Looking through my bag, I don't really have much. That can help.
Okay.
Is there a way we could go around potentially? Or...
I mean, do we have to take care of these things?
I mean, if there's another means that you can get it past the wall, that's in a different spot, sure, you could bypass them. They are screwing with these guards.
I think it would be best if we eliminate these bastards swiftly and soundly.
Do you want me to pull them out one by one?
Oh, well, that would be perfect, I think.
How many
All
times
right.
you cast arcane lock on the door?
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I was just talking about putting them in front of Fyrn's blade.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll kill them.
Do you like that idea? Should we continue with it?
we shouldn't waste any more time being out here. Then let's go with
I
it.
could also try and comfort the guards on the inside of the tower.
Why do we if we kill the gnolls, I think they'll be comforted.
Okay,
A
well,
lot.
I'm saying if we didn't want to do that, I can. If we,
Hey, we can do both. We can kill them and then we can console them right after.
Let's kill the gnolls.
All right, let's do that.
Vortex
And,
them in one by one.
Yeah.
If you would be so kind.
I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna vortex swerve them here one at a time.
One at a time. Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
Beyond the arcane lock.
Is everyone gonna like hold an
Oh, that's-
action?
Absolutely.
Actually, yeah, that's actually pretty brilliant.
Bruce is gonna mark on the snow where he's putting them. Everybody just raise.
Okay.
Guiding bolt ready.
All right. So the first one, we'll do the first one. What's the saving throw for? What kind of saving throw is it?
Constitution 18.
First one passes.
Do it again.
Well, the problem is that they are aware of you now after it passes it.
Mhm.
So we need to roll initiative.
Bum bum bum.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Sean, why?
Sean, why?
I don't know. Just sear undead them.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder about you.
All right. 20 to 25.
I can roll for Fyrn.
Thank you.
Fyrn got a 20.
15 to 20.
Wait, what did I just get? I think I got 12.
Okay, we're not there yet. 10 to 14.
Just talking to myself.
Clearly.
10 to 14.
12.
What the fuck? 5 to 9.
9.
8.
6.
Well, the thing that's good is that luckily the gnolls rolled a natural 1.
Oh god.
So they still go last. All right, so Fyrn is up first then.
If you're just
Wait.
gonna continue holding his action, right? Because they don't know any better.
Wait, is that initiative? No, that's not right.
Fyrn.
Oh, there we go.
Well, the door's closed. If he holds an action, he only gets. No, he gets all 3 attacks if he holds his
He
action.
does get all 3 attacks.
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna hold his attack.
Till
He's
one of
gonna
them's in
wait
range.
on. Yeah,
Or
he's
the
gonna
next
wait, move up next to one side of the door, and just kind of wait with his maul over his head.
Okay. I'm sorry. Sass, or which one of you got 9? Which one of you got 8?
I got 8.
I
Okay,
got
cool.
9.
All right, so he's gonna hold his action until there's an enemy within attacking range. All right, Septimus, you're up. And then
All
Bruce
right.
is on deck.
Are they all just beyond this door?
Yes.
Okay. I'll see her undead. I know
Okay.
how to play this game, I promise.
All right. Is there a saving throw for that?
Yes.
All right. What is it?
DC 17 Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Throw.
Good. Wisdom's a good one for these guys.
Yeah, stupid gnolls.
Jesus.
Die.
Okay. 2 out of 3 pass. One of them fails.
What? What is this? What is my? This is why.
One of them
this
got
is why.
one of them got a nat 20. One of them got an 18 on the dice. Third one got a natural 1.
Oh,
Like,
one's
why
gonna
don't, why
die.
don't you ever remember your attacks or remember things? So it's like, oh no, nothing fucking ever hits. Well, the one that failed is gonna take 5d8 radiant damage. Bam, 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 bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
27 radiant damage.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Nice. Do the other ones take half, or do they take nothing?
They take nothing.
Whenever you yeah, you take nothing. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, so you guys see this light, this flashing light go through the gate and through Septimus as you hear the cries of one of these gnolls on the other side of the gate, as you can hear kind of the body convulsing and dropping to the ground. That one, it seems to have died.
Yay.
These are not as strong as the gnolls you fought in the greenhouse area. All
How many
right, 3. Bruce, you're up.
Doing it again. Teleporting
Vortex
to the
warp.
same spot. Yeah.
Okay. This one definitely fails, so Fyrn is definitely going to get an attack off on this one.
Everyone should, right? Because everyone was holding actions.
No, because the trigger that their held actions were holding did not happen, so they lost their trigger.
What?
Once initiative started, they lost their trigger.
Technically speaking, hold actions cannot be
Oh,
done outside
you're-
of combat, so
you're
it should have
correct.
been a surprise round that went through. We should have still rolled initiative.
Yeah, that's
this is
true.
something that's they clearly outlined better in the 2024 rules. But Fyrn's got his held actions, so he's gonna fuck these guys up.
And also in the new 2024 rules, don't you get to persist your hold? You do get to persist your hold if it's not triggered, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I just remember the rules for held actions.
But basically, it's
or
the same thing would have
surprise.
happened though if we rolled the initiative for for it all, where they would have also succeeded on that roll, and the triggers would have not gone through. But Fyrn had a new trigger, so we'll go for that.
Yeah. So he's got 3 attacks. 25, 15, and 19.
25, 15, and 19. Those will. The 19 and the 25 will hit.
All right. So he's gonna do 18 plus 15.
He kills it.
30. Okay, cool. I really like playing other people's characters.
Because you do really well while you're playing other people's characters.
Not only that, but everyone seems to do so much more damage than Jacques.
Not everybody.
Well, the
there,
2
Chief.
people you've played at this point have exceptionally strong magic items I've given them.
Yeah, I didn't even roll the thunder damage yet.
Yeah.
He still has another 4d6 coming.
Yeah, Fyrn's broken. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah,
all
so
right.
I imagine he slams it down and then picks it back up and goes to slam it again, and he like kind of misses a little. And he's like, "Oh, sorry," and he slams it down. Just
Excellent. All right, Saskia, you're up.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the thing a gate? Like, can I shoot through it?
It's closed. You can't see through it.
Okay. Well,
It is a gatehouse, though, so it does have like a rooftop.
yeah. Okay. In that case, then, may I please use my bonus action to Misty Step up there?
Yes. Now you can run to the edge and see them. See the last one.
Pew! All right, and then, yeah. Eldritch Blast.
Only 3, actually. Yeah.
Only
all right, go.
3. I know, because I used my bonus action. All right, first one.
I
Only
gotta
3.
get you to use the bonus actions somehow.
Yeah. 15 doesn't hit, right?
No, it does not.
All right, second one is worse. Third one is the same thing. I miss all 3 shots, and
Yeah.
I'm so unhappy about it.
it'll let me roll.
Jacquet. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We should
right?
just start letting Stefan roll for everybody.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh,
Uh,
so it like makes like a triangle like in the snow right around it, and you just hear Saskia, "Fuck."
Yeah.
What's the height of the wall?
The walls themselves are I would say about 25 feet up, and then the gatehouse comes up 30 feet.
Could I climb up to the top of the wall and fire over with...
Yes, I would say that.
I mean,
since,
I could get 60 feet of movement if needed. So.
because you have climbing speed, that means that I am very okay with you like holding on to like one of the tops of a palisades and like shooting
yeah.
over. Yeah.
All right, cool. Am I considered hidden by this creature?
Yes, I would say yes. It hasn't seen you yet.
So it's a 23 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
For a total of 23 magical piercing damage.
Excellent. How do you want to kill this thing?
Yeah, Jacquet kind of climbs up and just rests it over, aims, and just fires his crossbow, and it just goes.
Absolutely. You have taken care of these gnolls that were harassing this guard tower.
I Misty stepped back down in a huff. Just like, get me out of this fucking storm.
As Baron puts his arrows back that he was knocking into his bow. All right, Bruce, you can open the door. The spectral block comes up and the doors open. You can head through. You actually see as you walk into the gatehouse of Old Town, an individual immediately comes out of a house. Out of the guardhouse. And just says, "Oh, thank God, thank the gods you're here. Oh, I thought they were going to get us." As you see this dwarven fellow who has like these really nice furred robes. Like clearly this is like the council leader of this area, Andros. What probably happened? Of Old Town, yeah. Andros probably was coming to the gatehouse to help you guys, and one saw that the gatehouse was locked in a way he can't unlock, and then two immediately was accosted by these gnolls, and he ran into the guardhouse hiding with the 2 guards in there. But you can give him the Old Town blessed wart if you'd like now. All right, last D10.
Who's it gonna roll?
I mean, I already rolled the 2 before, which was an unblocked path, but I also
Roll
just
it.
missed all of my shots.
Roll it.
So
Roll
right.
it.
Oh,
Roll
Bruce
it.
already did it.
Already,
Oh.
we got a 6.
Okay. So, with a 6, you begin to head up the hill through Old Town towards the old fort with the Veilguard Tower. As you get to the Veilguard Tower, you see, standing at the gate
Cheesecake.
of the fort is a cheesecake. No. Standing at the gate of the fort, lifting up this tree trunk that it has in its hands, lifting up and just going, hitting the stone walls,
My goodness.
is a Etten, an undead Etten,
Oh goodness.
standing there. One of its heads is completely rotted away, and it's just a skull that's just like hanging there, while the other head is half rotten with the light of the storm in its eyes, as it's just trying to break this wall down with this tree trunk by the gate opening of the fort.
Is anybody fighting it?
Not currently.
Is it just the Etten?
It's just the
Ent?
Etten.
Wait, is it Etten or did you say it was an Ent?
It's an Etten.
Oh, okay. I heard Ent.
No, it's a
You did. I know.
Etten.
Okay. We're probably gonna need to take that down if we want to gain access to the tower.
Gonna be too hard? Let's just try not to miss this time, Jacquet says, giving a sidelong glance to Saskia.
Okay, before we try that, I could try one more thing. I could try and put it to sleep.
Do the dead sleep?
I think the dead are unable to be put to sleep.
Well, I'm looking at its stat block right now, and it doesn't say it has any immunities, so...
Sounds like you're metagaming. So
I just wanted to see what it looked like. I didn't know what it was.
I then give it a shot and hopefully it works. If not,
If not, then we'll just do what we just did again.
lock it up.
All right. Gods above, I would like to cast sleep on this Etten.
Alrighty. Don't you have to roll dice for sleep?
No, it's new.
That sphere centered at a point within range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or have the incapacitated condition until the end of its next turn, at which point it must repeat the save. If it fails its second save, it has the unconscious condition for the duration. So it's a minute. I have to concentrate on it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can you say all of that again? I was not listening.
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, DC 18.
Natural 1.
Okay, it is incapacitated until the end of its next turn, at which point it has to repeat the save, and if it fails again, it then is unconscious for the until the spell ends, which is only a minute.
We're doing a unique thing here. What's your AC? Or I'm sorry, DC again?
18.
Okay. Lucky for you. I mean, is this a targeted spell or an area of effect?
Yes. It's a 5-foot sphere at
area of effect.
I can see your area of effect.
Okay.
Within 60 feet.
Then this does work. It's a strange thing though. It's not falling asleep. Like undead don't sleep, but
Sure.
Also, a lot of undead are not immune to the sleep condition. Oddly enough.
Or is it immune to the exhaustion condition?
Undead are typically immune to the exhaustion condition, but this is incapacitated, isn't it? What the effect is?
It says creatures that don't sleep or that have immunity to the exhaustion condition automatically succeed on the saves.
Okay, then never mind.
Damn it!
It does not fall asleep. What I was doing originally is that for Ettins, because Ettins have a unique feature where their heads both have to fall asleep in order for them to be completely incapacitated. So I rolled for both heads, even though one of them is a skull.
Yeah.
But undead are immune to exhaustion, so this does not work, and I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
You got it, boss.
Didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work.
All right, 20 to 25. $15 to 19.
Jacquette got a 17.
Septimus got an 18.
Wow.
Septimus is
Okay,
gonna
10 to
do
15.
something, hopefully to kill this thing.
Fyrn got a 10.
14. 14, Dean.
14 thing.
Sass, what'd you get?
7.
All right, Seppi, what do you do? This thing is pissed. Well, yeah, it's pissed. It got some magic like sleep water poured on it from Saskia. A nice like warm cup of magic tea that did not put it to sleep because
It's just this one it's just this one
It's one undead Ettin, yes.
I'm gonna cast Wall of Fire and just surround this thing in a fucking big tower of flame.
Love that. Okay, the fire erupts around it.
Yeah, I'm gonna test it with it being 1 foot thick, ring wall, 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high.
Okay. And is the damage happens at
Needs
the
to be a
start of its turn? Or...
When the wall appears, each creature in the area makes a dexterity saving
Okay,
throw.
cool. It got a 15.
17 was the beat.
Excellent. Roll that 5d8 or did
68.
you?
I upcasted at level
Oh,
5.
hell yeah, brother. Roll 68.
68 dice.
25 fire damage.
Nice. This thing bursts into flames. I love it.
That's for Alex.
All right.
Love
It
it.
is the Ettin's turn now. It is going to charge through the flames and run
The
towards
fire
you,
flames.
Septimus, and go for an attack on you.
Alex, how big can you vortex wall or vortex thing?
Jeez. Both attacks
Um,
miss
okay,
you,
question.
Septimus, as as it brings this big tree trunk down and you dodge out of the way, and then the second one comes swiping across, but you're able to deflect it. It only had 2 attacks. That's it. That's its turn. Jacquette, you are up.
Steady aim and fire.
Go for it.
Ooh, that's 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Oh, cool. That's a 14 to hit.
Oh.
23 magical piercing.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, excellent. Pew pew. The magical bolts pierce into the Ettin. Let's see. Brucey boy.
I'm gonna do what Septimus suggested. Get back in there. I don't see.
Get back. In
I don't.
there.
I don't see a size requirement on here.
Then that's totally fine. All right, what kind of saving throw is it?
Con
It's not gonna
18.
make it. Oh wait, con. Nope, it does not make it. It fails.
Back in the fire it goes.
Back into the fire. Same damage when it enters the wall for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there. So it's not going to take damage till the start of its turn, based on the rules as written for Firewall.
Mhm.
Awkwardly enough.
Maybe
Oh
I
wait, no,
shouldn't
no.
have
I'm
done
sorry.
this.
It does take damage at the end of your turn, Bruce, because it's
Oh.
on a turn or ends its turn there, or on a turn. So it's on your turn that it is arriving. It didn't say on its turn, so it is going to take the damage again.
So another 68.
The creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall for the first time. Yeah, another 68.
28 fire damage.
20.
28.
28. Love it.
Pedro.
Roar.
All right. The creature is looking like it is about to fall apart, but it is still up.
It's about to pop.
Fyrn's up.
Oh, why do you guys gotta put it behind fire? He says as he's going to Soaring Thunder throw his rock. I need a DC 15 deck save.
Okay, let's see. What is its dex? Hell yeah, it fails because it has a -1. Rolled a 15 on the dice. So it goes down to 14, so it fails. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right, that's gonna be 48 bludgeoning, 18 bludgeoning damage.
How does this kill the undead end?
Yeah, I imagine Fyrn just whips it, and the rock just flies through and takes off not just its head, but like the upper torso.
Yeah.
And the stone just impacts with a sickly squish into the wall.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not damaging the wall, but
Yeah.
like stopping on it, and it's just like
Yeah. Between the rot of it being undead and the fire, it was plenty squishy for this rock to just like hit it right where you said, and it almost like pushes it back so that it's like almost like it's leaning back into the wall, and the rock has pinned it there while crushing its body.
And then technically waiting 6 seconds for his next turn, he then recalls it.
Yeah.
And when it comes back, he like kind of like gets the shit off of it.
But as soon as you kill the and you would hear someone calling out from the tower, the tall circular tower that is sort of what the oldest structure here. And you can see the gate, the small gate of the tower opens up. Someone with a blessed wart lantern comes out and comes rushing to the front gates. They open them up, and you can see an elven woman step out. She is tall, she has silver hair, and she has a dusky purple skin. She is an Elysian elf.
Are you Moira?
Yes, I am. You must be the adventurers who are bringing the blessed wart here.
I was told that you get 2 rations as he reaches into his satchel to hand her.
Yes, we have the tower guard and the folks who live in the fort. The moon's blessings upon you all, saving our village, our town, our city, whatever you can call it these days. Do you have somewhere to go?
We kind of look at Bruce because he's got our home.
Bruce reaches into his bag and pulls out his little house figurine. Yeah.
I presume that's magic.
Yes, sorry for the confusion.
Sorry, it's when you say, "Do you have somewhere to go?" and someone pulls out a small toy house.
He's able to transform into something that's larger, so
You don't need to
we should be good
explain
for
it.
the night.
Well, feel free to set up your home inside the the walls, or right out in the courtyard. I will
Oh.
begin distributing this.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We'll take you up on being within the walls. Some extra protection.
And as the blizzard continues to rage, and you set up your Bruce's tower within the walls, you can see Moira, this Elysian elven woman, goes and starts to distribute amongst these several tents and semi-permanent structures that are all around. It is strange though, because there is seems to be some kind of military within this fort. But you also remember that there's no guards here, and that the militia is actually doing most of the work outside of this fort. They seem to be we have orders to just defend this fort, and we just stay in this fort. And it might be something where if there was a real threat invading, people would retreat into this fort. But they seem to just be on a permanent manage the fort order. As there is some sense of the Vale Guard Tower has some kind of military order within it. That perhaps the council can make decisions about, or this Moira exclusively holds authority over. But the one thing you do notice as the storm rages is that perhaps it's because people were given a new set of rations. There is somewhat of a glow over the whole township, as in people have more blessed wart than they think they need. So they begin to light lanterns right outside of their houses. They begin to they're very afraid. It's a group of people who had a little tiny bit of blessed wart that was going out suddenly has a new set of rations, so that there's a glitter to the streets around, a warmth to the town that fights back against this blizzard's cold as you hunker down to live out the rest of the storm. And it isn't long that you need to hunker down. As Fyrn sort of guessed, there was at least another full day of the blizzard remaining. So you hunker down in your house, and it's only a matter of 2 days before the storm passes. Now, next session, we'll talk about what happens during those 2 days. But you have successfully saved